One of the responsibilities of a man that you are dating or in a relationship with is to financially take care of you. It is to provide for you. It is to make your life financially easier, to unburden you. And this does not make you a gold digger, okay? Contrary to much of the information that is out there on the internet. It doesn't make you a taker. It doesn't make you a user. Every relationship, every dynamic has an exchange that's going on. There's a transaction. And the way that the transaction is supposed to go between a man and a woman is that the man is providing financially, yes, but in many other ways as well. He's providing his leadership. He's providing his care. And the woman is receiving that care, and without even trying, because it's not about trying to get an outcome, she is giving him respect. She is revering him. She is following his lead. She is receiving what he is giving her. She's not judging him. She's grateful for what she's being given. So this is a transaction. And I don't mean this in a way where it's like a transactional relationship, like, hey, I'll give you stuff, right? I'll give you care if you give me respect, right? Because that's not love. That's not a healthy relationship. You're not giving to get. We'll call it like you're giving to give, right? A man is giving to give to you because he wants to, because it's enjoyable for him. And you're not giving, right, energetically, you're actually receiving. But in the act of receiving, you're actually respecting a man. So it's like you're receiving to receive, okay? Not to get something, not to extract something from the man. You're just doing it because it feels good for you. You're respecting him because it feels good for you to do so, to respect a man, to revere a man, to look up to a man. Okay, so the reason that I'm talking about this is because I read a post on the internet, on Facebook, that I actually made a post on Facebook about it. And we're going to go much deeper in this video all about it. So I'm going to read it here for you first. Never pay rent for a woman who's not your wife. Never sponsor a woman's education if she's not your wife. Let her father play his role. You're just a boyfriend who will probably become her ex soon. She isn't your responsibility yet. All right, so there's quite a few problems with this. This is not the mindset of a healthy, masculine, devoted man. And in a moment, we're going to talk all about why that is. But first, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Zach Rohde. I'm here to lead you into creating the relationship of your dreams, using your feminine energy and what I call feminine communication to inspire a man into cherishing you. If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you do that below. Hit the notification bell and be sure to like this video because I'm going to make sure it's a good one for you today. And if you would like help learning how to inspire a man into cherishing you, then go below this video, open up the description. You're going to see the links to all of my offers. A great place to start is my free women's webinar at zachrohdecoaching.com, where I'll show you how to shift out of your unhealthy control patterns to inspire a man to take care of you. Okay, so going over this post, there's actually a few really important pieces in this. I'm going to pick out the most obvious, the most problematic. You're just a boyfriend who will probably become her ex soon. She isn't your responsibility yet. So there is a lot of men out there because of the what's called the red pill community, the manosphere community, which is teaching men, indoctrinating men into a form of victimhood. There's some good stuff in that community and there's a lot of really toxic garbage. It's very much like the counter movement to feminism. And of course the men think like, oh, I'm waking up, like I took the red pill like from the Matrix, right? So I'm waking up. I see all the lies of feminism, which is true. There's a lot of BS about feminism that's brainwashing women and men. The problem is that the red pill community also brainwashes men in a more subtle way into victimhood, into basically making sure they're never going to have a healthy relationship. And the mindset that's being indoctrinated is basically like women are pergamous sluts who will trade up for a better man the first chance that she gets. They have no sense of loyalty and they're all just gold diggers. They're just after my money and there's nothing that I can do. I'm just a helpless victim. That's basically the gist of what's being programmed into men. And so the idea is, I'm doing a really broad brush here, right? I'm generalizing, but the general idea is don't bother getting married, especially without a prenup. Women cannot be trusted. And no matter how amazing you are. It doesn't matter. And you're probably going to be taken advantage of, so it's better just not to even be committed to women. Just use women in bed and, have fun, because this is the way that women are. Totally nonsense. And the thing is, I understand, I'm an ex-pickup artist, right? Before I met my wife, I've dated hundreds of women, a lot of success, which I don't really call success anymore. It's just being a child as a man. It's not really growing up. And, understood women to a large degree from that framework, because I learned a lot of red pill stuff, but it actually really kept me stuck in a non-devotional frequency. That's what it really is. It's a non-devotional frequency. And it appealed to me because I was a very stingy man to begin with, right? So when I met my wife, I remained stingy, energetically, financially. I didn't step up into that provider role, and I was selfish, and I thought that was actually what being high value was. It's like, I'm going to give less than the other person is going to. It's really toxic and ridiculous. Like, in hindsight, it's like, how can I be this brainwashed and stupid? Even though I was extremely successful with women, right, on a superficial level. It does work to get women really attracted to you. Most women attracted to you. Maybe not women who have extremely high self-worth, but my wife did have relatively quite high self-worth, and she became very attracted to me, but very frustrated later on when she realized how stingy I was. So it creates this really toxic mindset, and part of it is it's based on a misunderstanding of women. Right? I understand women, not just, I've been with my wife for 8 years. That's a huge part of it. I've dated hundreds of women. That's a part of it. I've also had hundreds of women clients and really gotten to know them and how women actually work. And it's not the way that this post is describing. It's not the way that red pill doctrinates men. You're just a boyfriend who will probably become her ex soon. She isn't your responsibility yet. If a man is a truly healthy, masculine, dominant man, a man who knows how to lead, a man who is, very competent at leading, who has a lot of self-confidence, who's devotional in his energetic frequency, who knows how to meet a woman's needs, that woman is not going to be breaking up with him. Like, it's basically a 1 in a million that she would. 1 in a million that she's going to cheat on him. 1 in a million that she's going to, do anything to want to get out of the relationship, get out of the marriage. Now, if she has tons of wounds, a lot of avoidance issues, a lot of, if she has really low self-worth, then yes, she might sabotage the relationship. Absolutely. There's women out there that will do that. But is a really healthy masculine man going to get into a relationship with such a woman? No, of course not, right? And if you really lack self-worth, understand that really healthy masculine men are not going to want to be getting into a relationship with you. And that's part of what I help women shift. You got low self-worth? That's fine. We can shift that. You can learn to fully love yourself, show up in a really feminine way, just fully receive without needing to control a man's behaviors, perceptions of you in any way, people please, fawn, any of that stuff. You can shift all of it, 100%. And this is what I do in my academy program. This is what I teach in my books and my women's dating course, all that stuff, which again, offers are right below the video. So this post, it's very clear that this man has a victim mindset and is not that type of man. Because he's afraid that a woman, the mindset is, if I'm not going to provide too much, I'm not going to give too much energy and especially money into the relationship, because there's a good chance that she's going to break up with me. No, only if you have a really victim mindset and you're not confident, you don't know how to lead. That's the only way that's going to happen. A healthy masculine man, a woman's not going to break up with him. She's just not. There's no reason to. All of her needs are met. There's no reason to cheat. All of her needs are met. So once we can shift that mindset, and by the way, I do work with men as well, right? Men need a lot of help with shifting toxic mindsets like this. Once this mindset is shifted, everything changes. It's like, if a man knows, no, a woman's not going to break up with me. There's no way. It's not going to happen. By the way, I've never had a woman break up with me. I've broken up with every single woman. So part of this is really based on experience. And I wasn't even that amazing. I was really selfish. And there probably were some women. There definitely were some women that should have broken up with me. But it's because I was so confident in myself. I loved myself so much and I was so confident in my leadership that women just didn't want to break up with me. Anyway, once that belief shifts, now a man can go much more into a provider frequency, right? So if I was single, I've been with my wife for 8 years, so it's not going to happen. It's totally theoretical at this point. But say I was single again and I'm dating a woman and I decide, hey, this woman is amazing and I know I'm going to marry her. I just want to give it more time, flesh everything out, really get to know her better before choosing to marry her. If I know that I'm going to marry her, and I know that there's no chance of her breaking up with me, then it doesn't make sense not to financially provide for her, assuming, of course, that I have the means to do so. And if I don't have the means to do so, I really shouldn't be dating, right? My focus should be getting the means to be able to provide for a woman. That doesn't mean that a woman can't provide for herself. It's not about that. It's that a man is supposed to be in the caretaking role for a woman, especially if he plans on having children with her, right? Because the woman should be the one that is taking care of the children primarily early on, so that the man can be out working and providing, right? And the man needs to be providing so that the woman can be taking care of the children, instead of putting them into what for the most part is toxic, unhealthy situations like daycare and early education centers away from the primary caregivers, right? Like there's a reason that we are wired the way that we are wired, and the way that we have traditional systems like the woman taking care of the child. It's because that's what's best for the children. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. Don't want to go too much into that. Point is that with this shift in mindset, understand that the way that it should be for a woman, this is important, right? That this is the kind of man that you should be attracting, that I want to help you learn how to attract, is a man who is confident in himself, who knows his self-worth, who loves to provide, not from a weak place, right? There's this whole idea of being a simp, right? A man who is weak, who's going to keep on giving, even if he's not getting respect, even if he's not getting your attention, even if you're not really loyal to him. He's just going to simp for you. He's just going to give you money, give you time, give you whatever, regardless. I'm not talking about that kind of man. It's a very weak man. On the surface, he actually might look like he is a healthy masculine man the way that I teach, because he's going through the motions, but he's doing it all for the wrong reasons. He's not doing it out of devotion. He's doing it out of obligation and out of people pleasing. And you're not going to be attracted to that. Not long term anyway. You're not going to be able to respect that. So you need a healthy masculine man whose instincts are online, who's giving to you because he chooses to do so because it's enjoyable for him, not to people please in any kind of way. And so the question is, should such a man pay rent for a woman who's not his wife and sponsor a woman's education if she's not his wife, or should he let her father play his role of doing that? Well, so first of all, understand that it is actually your father's role to do those things, right? I have a daughter. She's almost 3 years old, and I am going to be financially providing for her and providing for her in all ways that she needs until she has a husband to take over my job. That's the way that it is supposed to be. That's the way that it traditionally is, and that's the way that it's supposed to be. It's the way that men and women, fathers are wired, daughters are wired. A woman, a girl, should never be at a point where she has to take care of herself. That's not healthy. We've glorified the idea of a woman becoming really independent, being able to take care of herself as some amazing goal to attain, but that's not healthy. It should never be that way. It was never meant to be that way. And it's not that a woman's not capable of it. Women are very capable, as we've seen in our society. The question is it healthy? Because what being independent does is it masculinizes a woman. It forces her or puts her into a place of needing to take care of herself, to be responsible for herself, which puts her more in her head, out of her flow, out of her body, into planning, into managing. And if she's struggling in any kind of way, then into a bit of a fear-based mentality as well. That's all masculinizing. And then the more masculinized a woman becomes, the harder it's going to be to attract that really healthy masculine man. Now, if you're in that situation of having to take care of yourself, which most women unfortunately are, like if you're single right now, if you're not in a relationship, it's all right. It sucks, it makes it harder for you, but most of, like basically all of my clients, almost every single one, is in that position if they started out single. Right? And we've been able to get amazing results for them in our academy program. And it takes time and it takes effort, but you can do it. So it is a obstacle. It makes these shifts harder. It doesn't make these shifts impossible. But a father is supposed to be fully providing for his daughter, to allow her to stay feminine, stay soft, be able to hold on to those feminine traits, assuming she didn't get all wounded in the first place because of his fathering and because of her mother. She's able to stay that way, which makes it much easier for healthy masculine men to be really attracted to her, so that they want to claim her, want to take care of her, regardless of whether she's capable of working a job, regardless of whether she chooses to work a job, right? It's not about whether a woman is working and doing something that she enjoys. It's about whether she's responsible for having to financially provide. As a man, I love financially providing for my wife. I love that sense of responsibility that I have, that feeling where I'm taking that burden from her. That should feel good for a healthy masculine man. It doesn't feel good to have that as a woman, right? For her to have to take care of herself, and especially to have to take care of her and her family, her husband, all of that stuff financially. A woman is going to operate best when she's free from that responsibility and her creative juices are just able to flow. And she's able to just have fun with whatever it is that she's doing, if she chooses to do something other than taking care of the kids in the home. So a father should play that role. Understand most fathers are obviously not playing that role today. That's unfortunate, which means that women are becoming more masculinized. And then should a man take over that role before he's chosen her in marriage? Well, it really depends. If a man is really masculine, he knows that he's not going to be abandoned by her. He's not going to be left by her. It's 100% his choice as to whether he's going to end up marrying her or not. And then he has to decide, okay, like, is this going to lead towards marriage? And if it is, then paying for her is going to be a perfectly okay investment. It's going to make her life easier. Of course, a woman needs to be respecting a man fully for a healthy man to want to provide. But that should be the natural inclination. It should be his desire, where it's like, yeah, I want to take care of you. I want to make your life easier. I want to help you, finish your education or get out of debt or pay your rent or whatever, if it's financially possible for him to do so. The trap that a lot of men get into, like a lot of men do that and then actually do get dumped, right? But again, we're talking about weak men. We're talking about non-dominant men. It's like, oh, well, now that I've graduated, now that, my man has supported me in all these ways, and now I have a better job than him, and, you know what, I think I can do better. I think I can trade up. That's a real thing, right? So all the stuff that's taught in the red pill community, it's all real, but they're missing the root cause. It's like women do this stuff because the man is not dominant. If the man is truly dominant, which is a combination of strength and power, like his leadership, his strength is online, but also his heart is online. He's also devoted to his woman at the same time. And for a lot of men, their heart is online, but their strength, their power is not online. So the woman doesn't really respect him. So a man should, and if I was single, would I be doing this for my wife? If I had the means, right now I have the financial means. Yeah, I'd be doing a lot of things to make her life easier. Because it's like, yeah, we're going to get married in a few months. With my wife, I think I proposed to her. I think it was 7 months in that I proposed to her. So it wasn't a lot of time. And then we were engaged from, it was like September, I think, until February we got married. So what's that, like another 4 or 5 months? I think it was the 11-month mark. So that would have been 4 months, whatever that would have been. And so certainly during that time, once I decided, okay, I'm going to marry this woman, I proposed to her, it definitely makes sense to financially provide. Now, of course, I didn't do any of that because I was a selfish idiot. And, we split bills and everything right down the middle. So I wasn't in that devotional frequency, but doing it again, that's exactly what I do, because that's what a healthy man would do. Now, the question for you is, what has been your experience with men, right? If you currently have a boyfriend or a husband, did he have that kind of energy and desire to take care of you? Does he have that desire to take care of you right now? If he doesn't, yes, he's got his own wounds, but he's also reflecting your wounds, right? There's something that you are doing, the way that you are showing up, to get that lack of devotion. And the same thing for a single woman, right? Has your past experience been men who want to take care of you on this level? Specifically, really healthy, dominant men that you're really attracted to, right? Not weak men where like you decide to be the one that breaks up with them after a while. Those men don't matter. There's literally, the vast majority of men are like that. It is so easy to find a man who wants to financially take care of you. But these are people pleasers. These are simps. These are not the kind of men that you want to be with. These are not the kind of men that you would stay attracted to. So they mean nothing. If you have success with those kind of men, great, but that doesn't mean anything at all. We're talking about, can you succeed? Can you inspire the devotion of a healthy, dominant man that you're super attracted to, sustainably, to take care of you emotionally and financially and in other ways. And if you can't, if you don't know how, I want to help you learn how to do that. Right? This is what my business is all about. This is what these videos are all about. It's showing a woman how to shift the way that she shows up, how to shift the way that you show up, shift out of your unhealthy control patterns, how to shift out of your lower self-worth patterns, start using feminine communication, start shifting into being vulnerable, shift into the receiving role to inspire a man into wanting to take care of you in all ways. How awesome would that be? How much better would your life be if you were able to do that without even trying? Just being an effortless thing because it's just who you are. So this is what I help women do. And if you would like help learning how to make these shifts, these are difficult shifts and often very scary shifts to make, then go below this video, open up the description. You're going to see the links to all of my offers that can help you. And if you would like hands-on support from me and my team to make these shifts where we will help you implement them into your love life and practice them with us, then go to my academy offer at thedreamrelationship.com, where you will book a call with me. We'll talk all about what's going on in your love life. We'll talk about where you're stuck, what you're not getting, why this is happening. I'll give you some coaching on this, and we'll find out together if working with us makes sense. And if it does, well, great. We'll help you create the relationship of your dreams from there. If that's you, fantastic. I look forward to seeing you on that call. That's it for this one.